Welcome, everyone, to episode 158 of the Looks Like a Movie podcast. My name's Kevin. I'm here with Doug, and today we are talking about Project Hail Mary, the biggest movie of the year so far. Uh, Possibly by the end of the year, still one of the biggest movies, at the
What
very
if it's
least,
just the
the biggest.
biggest movie of the year?
I don't know if it'll be the biggest, but I do think nothing will compete with it as far as biggest original movie of the year.
As
I mean,
original as in no sequel,
as
because
in
it's
no
based on.
sequel or
Right,
like
okay.
yeah, or like a superhero movie or whatever. But um yeah, I don't know. They're calling it an original movie. Obviously it's adapted from a book.
Yeah, it's adapted from a pretty popular book.
Yeah.
Um,
But very popular book. I hear about it often. Anyway, before we get into all that, let's talk about what we've been watching. Doug, you could go first.
I can go first? Wait, okay. I watched. Yes, okay. So I already talked about this last week, but I finished watching One Battle After Another the day after,
Nice.
the Oscars. Yeah. Um, Excellent motion picture. Um,
Yeah.
um and then I watched Antichrist, the Lars von
Oh,
Trier
hell yeah.
film for the first time. I had never seen
Love
it.
that movie.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. It's one of those things where, and I don't want to be annoying, but a couple of weeks ago, me and Owen were talking about like this idea where as filmmaking and cinema becomes less popular and less desirable thing for kind of like really great artists and really like great kind of like intellectual artists who want to aspire to be like practically as they get older, right? We're gonna lose a lot of these great artists, and I think that Lars von Trier is one of those guys where he's so specific, and he's like, Lars von Trier is like, whether or not you think he's a good guy or you like the kind of stuff he does, he's very specific and he could have done
Yeah.
anything. You know what I mean? He could have been any kind of art. He could have been a novelist. He could have been a
Yeah.
painter. He could have done anything, but he put all of his effort into being a filmmaker, into cinema, and he makes very specific kind of films that I'm very grateful for. And I think Antichrist is like one of those things where you're watching it and it's like, bro, where did you get these ideas? Like, this is incredible.
Yeah. I totally agree. Have you seen Breaking the Waves?
Mm-mm. You don't watch Breaking the Waves?
Man. That was the last time I watched a Lars von Trier movie. It's been a little bit. I gotta get back to finishing up the ones I haven't seen. Um, but Breaking the Waves was like crazy good. I think you'd like that. I don't know if that's like what your plan is to go on like a little kick or if you just kind of felt like
No, I need
watching
to watch
Antichrist
all
that
of them.
night. But
Yeah, I need to watch
uh,
all of them. Antichrist was like a spur of the moment thing,
yeah,
though.
I'd imagine it's a weird like. I feel like with a lot of his movies, it's weird to just like be in the mood. You know what I mean? Like it's weird to just like be like, yeah, I feel like we should watch Antichrist tonight. Like it doesn't happen often, so I'm not like just burning through his movies,
Right.
but every once in a while you're like, yeah, I probably should watch one of these.
Yeah. No, really
Anyway,
good, really recommend it. It's one of those things that like everybody should just watch. Obviously, everybody does not like it. You could just there's so much
yeah, it's pretty
controversial about it,
divisive.
right?
Yeah,
Incredibly divisive. There's so many of the top reviews on Letterboxd are just about the fact that the film is dedicated to Andrei Tarkovsky.
yeah,
So interesting. But it's like it's so specific and so major, right? That everybody
mhm,
should watch it, even if you think you'll hate it. Yeah. So I watched
I
Antichrist.
agree.
Then I watched Cape Fear for the first time. Have you seen Cape Fear?
I have not. I wish I had. I was looking at your diary, but
Um,
because there's some stuff that you did watch this week that I have seen and really like that I would love to
yes.
hear what you thought about. But Cape Fear is one of the ones I haven't seen.
Cape Fear is directed by Martin Scorsese. Is an early '90s picture. It really is like Martin Scorsese doing like Brian De Palma. You know, it really like you'll understand exactly what I mean when you see it.
Yeah,
Because you'll probably watch it eventually, right? Um,
of course. Yeah,
it's like it's really him trying to do Brian De Palma. It's interesting because the movie has such a reputation of like this being his sellout movie, like this being like Martin Scorsese doing like one for the studio, like
yeah,
him doing just a movie just for money. And it's funny watching it with that kind of understanding and being like, it's crazy. Like this is what that used to be, This is
yeah.
such a
No,
fun
true.
movie. There's like so many fun visual ideas, and it's like incredible actors like doing like going like super big. Um,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's like crazy that that's what it used to be.
Yeah, it's like it's interesting because I feel like when you watch movies like that, it's like they're doing one for the studio, but then it's still just like a swing that you could appreciate so much. Whereas like you watch it today and you're just like, I don't even know that this person who I really like directed the movie. Like that's the
Right.
big difference, I think.
Yeah, now
Um,
the one for the studio is
but
fucking
just put your name on it and
yeah,
and get paid.
it's like the Eternals.
Yeah, yeah, which is yeah, I mean much different than Cape Fear, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Some people would say it's better. Eternals has some crazy listen, there's some crazy people with autism that are really into Marvel movies that are like Eternals is amazing. So, uh yeah, and then I watched To Catch a Thief because you talked
Yes,
about To Catch a
because
Thief.
I talked about it. I was wondering if you watched this because of me or if it just,
Yes.
like, was coincidence, but,
No, because you were and I hadn't seen it and you were talking about it. What was the subject of your paper that you wrote about it? What were you dialing into the movie about?
so I didn't, I should clarify because I don't know if I said this correctly last week. So I'm writing a paper about the movie Nope, directed by Jordan Peele,
Oh,
and about Notorious, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. I almost did Nope and To Catch a Thief instead.
okay, okay.
And the reason for that is because it's a linguistics paper, and so
Mhm.
I'm studying how language has evolved over time. So I'm doing a very new movie and a very old movie, or very old, but Hitchcock movie. And specifically, I wanted to pick a movie from this era because of that like classic transatlantic accent.
Yeah,
And in
transatlantic accent. Yeah.
To Catch a Thief has both Cary Grant and Grace Kelly in it. But I went with Notorious instead, which still has the transatlantic accent, maybe not as prominently as To Catch a Thief, but it has nothing to
No.
do with like the
No, no, that makes
subject of
sense
the
though.
movie. But
Right. That makes sense. But To Catch a Thief, incredible. Bro,
yeah,
I need to finish watching all of the Hitchcock movies. There's a lot of like
there's so many. There's so many to watch.
I've seen most of like from what would be considered his most major era, which would be like the 50s, right? I've seen
Sure.
most of those films, which To Catch a Thief is from, and it's just kind of like the early stuff and then the later stuff that I'm kind of missing. But
Yeah.
all of his films that he shot in color, like in Technicolor, it's crazy, bro. It's
To
crazy.
Catch a Thief is like it's
it's
like incredible.
it's Owen said this about Bresson a long time ago, where he was like, "Bro, giving that guy color was a cheat code," and that's kind of how I feel
Yeah.
about like Hitchcock too. Where like
Yeah.
giving him color is a cheat code.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Um, and then I watched Chinatown for the first time. I don't want
What
to
an
be.
incredible motion picture, dude. I saw that you watched this and I was like amazed that it was your first time watching it. I couldn't believe like I need to know
I'm
what
gonna
was
cry.
happening to you during watching this movie
I'm
cuz
gonna
that's
cry.
crazy.
I'm gonna cry right now, even speaking about it. I One of the greatest pictures ever made. I really want to watch it again. I will watch it again soon. So major. I'm gonna be honest. It's so unfortunate. The Roman Polanski, like,
Is one of the most evil directors ever cuz he's also one of the best.
well,
Like
it's like, yeah, it's unfortunate that like he's a criminal and he's like a bad guy, right? And he has like this, and he's that's what he's famous for, right? So he has this incredible air around him, and that's pretty soon that's going to be the only thing he's known for, you know. In 20 years, if anybody even knows Roman Polanski, they're not going to be able to name a movie he directed. It's just going to be that, right? And it's very unfortunate because I well, Rosemary's Baby, I've already talked about, like thought so much about. That's
yeah.
one of my favorite movies. Chinatown is I'm brewing this thesis. Chinatown might be like the American New Wave film. You know,
Mhm.
I was really thinking about that because there's all of like when I think about the American New Wave, I think about Francis Ford Coppola pictures, right?
Yes.
I think he's the face of that for me, you know, especially because like he's the guy that was burning all of the money and he was like this is he's obviously there are so like other filmmakers involved, right? But I always think about Francis Coppola where it's like The Godfather and Apocalypse Now and like these like
Mhm.
huge ridiculous swings of being like, you know, this is Hollywood, we make really expensive movies and we do whatever, right? But I think that Chinatown being this movie about America and about Los Angeles and being so cynical and like with these movie stars, and then even from like an auteur reading of it where it's like, kind of Roman Polanski's his perspective on Los Angeles, right? And how like um like this is in the wake of after the what's the like Sharon Tate dying and like the murders, what's his name?
Mhm.
The
Um,
Manson. Yeah, the Manson.
Manson,
Yeah,
sorry.
like the
Yeah.
Manson murders, right? And like that was going on before this, and how like he was kind of thinking about Los Angeles and the world, right? And watching it and it's like, fuck, bro. Fuck. It's crazy. It's just so crazy. Yeah, I unbelievable picture with some of the most insane music ever. Also, bro, is Jack Nicholson the fucking goat? This is
I
serious. No, I'm being
No, I
completely
mean, he's
serious.
got a
Like,
real yeah. He's got a real I think it's interesting how, like, I don't know, the you know how, like, you would see this is maybe not everybody has shared a similar experience to me, but you know how, like, when you were younger, as somebody, like, growing up that's into movies, you would see the way that people talk about movies, but you didn't really, like, know enough yet, you know? So, like, you would be, like, a teenager, like, reading lists of, like, the best actors, and, like, every list would say someone like Jack Nicholson or, like, Daniel Day-Lewis, and you'd be like, you only believed that because every, like, list told you that, but then, like, when you talked with other people, you were like, "Yeah, I don't know, I mean, Ryan Gosling's probably one of the best actors ever," for as an example, because 'cause we're talking about Project Hail Mary today. Like, that's, like, a thing that I thought as a teenager, you know, like, watching Ryan Gosling act. And then you, like, like, the second you start learning shit and you watch Jack Nicholson in a movie, you're like, it like breaks your brain a little bit. You know? Does that make sense? And it's not even just with acting.
mhm.
It's like with anything. But there's a lot I feel like that I thought I knew at a young age. Not that I'm not still young, but at a younger age, that like once you learn anything, it's crazy how much like your whole brain shifts. And I feel that way especially with acting. I think because I didn't really know what to look for. It was mostly like I like this guy or I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
And often like, you know, their best work is maybe like a lot of these people's best work is not like some super popular movie that was or popular to us like you know in the way that we grew up like reading like IMDb top 250 lists. It's like a lot of the best actors in history are not going to be very well represented on lists that are just like Christopher Nolan movies or
Right.
something.
Well, like the Jack
Um,
Nicholson, his most famous work is in The Shining, right? But that's a great performance, but it's like it's a very specific, very loud, not to say
yeah,
simple, but it's like it's him being really angry, and I like The Departed is a really big movie for me. And that's just Jack Nicholson being really old, basically, kind of doing his thing.
yeah. I
Um,
wouldn't diminish it too much. I mean,
no, I mean it's
he's
great,
great in
but
the
it's
movie,
but it's
but
like a different kind of thing. In Chinatown, it's like, oh, this is Jack Nicholson being like this very like sexy guy, leading man with so much incredible interiority. Like there's so much under the hood and there's so much going on behind everything that he says, and you could see like he's thinking so much. It's I don't know, man. It's one of those leading performances where I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, I don't know. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
No, I get it. I felt that way. So, I mean, I feel that way every time I watch Chinatown, but I felt that way similarly where, like, when I was watching the movie Reds and
Oh, I need yes.
Jack Nicholson showed up in Reds, and I was like, whoa. Like, it's like you remind, because that's kind of what I'm talking about, where it's like, you have this like collection of movies, and some of those, The Shining, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, The Departed, like, those are movies I would have, and I did watch as a teenager, but like, everything else is stuff that you're not going to watch until you realize that you should be watching it. And it's when you watch that stuff that you're like, "Oh, this is one of the best actors ever," because, you know, you get to see them aside from like the two projects that made them super famous.
Yeah. I need to
Yeah,
watch Reds. I'm gonna watch Reds this week.
Reds is really good. I think you would like it. It's long, so
It's like 3 hours
prepare.
long, but
Yeah, well,
yeah,
like I just mean like, you know, you need to
yeah.
dedicate your night to it. But
No, but Warren Beatty's a real ass
dude, that
director.
movie Reds is crazy. That
Did you
movie is
watch
so good.
Did you watch Dick Tracy?
No, I should still.
Okay.
I know I was, and I when you talked about it on the podcast, I was literally like about to watch it that week, and then things
No,
just
yeah,
you just like
yes, I know.
forget.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
but
should
Warren
really
Beatty's
watch
a
it.
real ass filmmaker.
Yeah, for sure. I think you'll like Reds. Is that
No, that's it for
everything you
me.
watched?
What do you watch, bro?
Oh, not too much. Pretty slow week for me. I really only watched 2 things aside from Project Hail Mary. I watched, Happy as Lazzaro or Lazzaro. I'm gonna
Yeah.
mispronounce it because it's, like, Italian the way they say his name in the movie, but anyway, Liche Rohrwacher movie, she did La Chimera,
Mhm.
most recently, which I'm a crazy big fan of, so I wanted to finally check out anything else she did, and this seemed like the next place to go. Uh, Really crazy movie. Like I saw some people describe his character sort of as like if Paddington was a human being, which is not totally off, but like I really like how the movie sets itself up and like what it's actually trying to say. So the movie is about these like sharecroppers. Sharecropping has been an illegal practice in Italy for however long, but like the setting of the movie is post sharecropping becoming illegal. But this very wealthy woman who owns a huge farm has like like 50 people working there, and the farm has been cut off to the rest of society because like the bridge that you use to get there like got taken down, and so like they pretty much just like propagandize these people into thinking that like their life is like stuck on this farm and that like sharecropping is just like normal and stuff. So all of them are like in debt to the rich owners and like think that what they're doing is a normal way to live when like it's an illegal outdated practice. And then like this isn't a spoiler, but like halfway through the movie, you transition into them getting out of their situation and like joining society and like
Mhm.
living in the city. And you're seeing it all through this character, Lazaro. And the the way that it yeah, I just think it's a really good conceit, which is that like it's critiquing society by being like, hey, actually, these people's lives like didn't get any better. Like they were like being completely abused. Like their lives were being completely abused, like as sharecroppers. And then they just like integrate with society and it's like actually the living conditions still fucking suck and like poor people can't move up in the world. Um and it's also pretty well directed. I mean, it's like a gorgeous movie,
Yeah.
and very well acted. Really cool stuff. Would really recommend it. Not quite like La Camaro for me was like a life changing movie. It's not quite like at that level, but it's a very good movie that I would really recommend. And then the only other thing that I watched was the new Peaky Blinders movie.
Yeah, speak on that. I
Um,
saw you called it kinda mid and you didn't rate it.
Yeah, I didn't rate it because it was just one of those things where I was like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's like obviously I like this because the show is like one of my favorite shows ever. It's not like good though. Like, it was pretty much disappointing in like every way. So it's like I just gave it a like because I was like, I don't know how to rate this. Like, it feels like any rating would just be wrong.
Did it
It was like an
wrap
episode of
up
TV, really.
did it wrap up Tommy Shelby's, like, arc, like, his story? Like, is it, like, comfortably done now?
Yes. I won't spoil what happens in the movie, but
Okay.
yes, it's yeah, for sure. But well, like there's just like I don't yeah. I don't know what I know they are doing a Peaky Blinders like spin-off show. So it's there's definitely stuff in this movie that I guess you could connect to that. I don't really know how that's going to function. And I don't know if I'm interested in it anyway. Uh the whole time watching the movie, I was like, this didn't have to exist. Like it's like that I think his arc was wrapped up at the end of the show. And quite honestly, I think it was probably wrapped up before the end of the show because like this the last season isn't exactly like the greatest, but this one just kind of like brings back to life some of the problems that he was dealing with, like makes them much worse, and then you're kind of just like, oh, I like it pretty I was explaining this to my girlfriend, but like pretty much the whole plot of Peaky Blinders is just like, how can we make this one man suffer as much as anybody has ever suffered? Like, like that's not literally the plot, but that's how it feels when you're watching it.
Right.
And then the movie is just kind of like bringing him back to just have a bunch of awful, like, they kill off a lot of characters from the show in the movie, and I'm just like, I didn't need to see that. Like, I didn't
Mhm.
need to see these characters who I loved in the show just be reintroduced to that world just so that they could like die 20 minutes into the movie. I just like, I don't know. It, and I'm not saying that that's like a problem with the movie necessarily, but the movie itself also just isn't very good. It is like a long episode of TV. And I was willing to judge it as like a long episode of TV rather than a movie.
But you're
It's
like,
not
it's not even
even,
one of the best episodes if
yes, like
you're
it's like, I
yeah.
don't know. There are several, there's at least an episode in every season of the show that I think is better than the movie. If not multiple, depending on the season. So yeah, I don't know. And there's like some stuff that it just never worked for me. Like I know we've been not the nicest to Barry Keoghan on the show. Like we're just not crazy about him. I don't necessarily like think I think he's a good actor when he's in the right project. In the movie, it it like suffers from being a movie, which is like it introduces him as this character who is Tommy Shelby's son, and none of that stuff, like none of how this son came into the world was like set up in the show, you know?
Mhm.
So it's like we're just introduced to we flash forward 2 decades into the future, Barry Keoghan exists, and there's like supposed to be this lingering emotion, and it's like no, that's like what TV's for, you know? Like I'm supposed to have known Barry Keegan's character for 3 or 4 seasons.
So he's, like, not in the show at all? He's, like,
No, no, no,
introduced
he's
in
like
the
a new
movie?
character. Yeah,
That's
he's a new and
crazy.
so is Rebecca Ferguson's character.
That's
um
crazy.
like neither of them are, yeah, all the people from the show pretty much don't come back except for like um like I don't want to spoil it, but like they come back to die mostly, except for like some minor characters who like survive and are, like little side characters in the show. Um but yeah, it's not the greatest. They did use several Fontaine's DC songs, and I really like them, so that was entertaining. I've always liked the music in Peaky Blinders. That's the one
Uh,
place they can't go wrong.
Cillian
But
Murphy also always, like, really likes the music.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, Killian Murphy, big fan of Irish rock groups.
Did you speaking of Peaky Blinders news, before we get into, the big movie, did you see that Anya Taylor-Joy, who's doing, press for, the Super Mario Brothers right now,
Yes,
she said that the favorite character that she's ever played to her family is her character in Peaky Blinders.
that's
But then
so crazy.
yeah, but then she said but because she was asking, like it was the question was about, like, "Oh, like, I is your, like, what does your family think about your work? Like, what did they" and she was like, "Yeah, it's weird, but their favorite character that I've ever played is my character in Peaky Blinders, but I think that's, like, my the worst character I've ever played," basically, is what she said.
Yeah, I mean, she's not, you know, she's not doing much in that show. I don't know. She comes in towards like the tail end of the show, and that's like personally not the strongest part of the show for me. I think like seasons 2 and 4, and maybe even a little bit of 1 and 3 are like as good as it gets. Actually, 5 might be pretty good too. I don't remember 5. I know she's in 5. But yeah, she's kind of whatever in that show. I would be shocked if she said that was her favorite performance of her career. Like that's,
No, she said it
you know,
was like, "Yeah, it's like my
not that she's
worst."
like been in
Yeah.
a long list of great stuff, but like I don't know, even if she wants to pick
I
a
mean, for
TV
somebody
character,
that's
like
like
her character in The Queen's Gambit is
yeah, I was
10
gonna
times
say.
better than Peaky
Yeah, but,
Blinders.
like, for
Like
somebody that's been in that's, like, under 30 years old,
yeah,
she's been in, like, good stuff.
yeah, for
Um,
sure.
okay, we're gonna
Let's
talk
talk
about
about somebody who's over 30 and been in good stuff. We're gonna talk about Project Hail Mary. We kind of led the episode with this, but massive movie. I forget the exact stats, but biggest opening
bro,
for its kind in quite
there's
a
people
like ever. I don't know.
people
Um,
there's people that have never watched a movie before going out to bat for
yeah,
this.
yeah.
It's crazy.
It's making a lot of money. I think it's already made 160 million this weekend. It's got an A cinema score. It's got a
Which, I'm gonna be honest,
4.4 rating on Letterboxd.
both of those things are shocking to me.
Yeah, a little bit,
I
but
know
we can
you
get
so,
into that.
you like the movie, and I'll
Yes,
say very I dislike the movie. Like, I
yes.
dislike it.
I I just to pull back the curtain a little bit. I called my the second I left the theater watching this movie, I called my girlfriend, and the first thing she like asked me about the movie, and I was like, "This is." And this, I think, if I was going to summarize my review, it's how it's how I would do it. I called her and I was like, "Yeah, the movie's pretty bad. I cried like 12 times. It kind of sucks. I couldn't stop crying.
Yeah, yeah.
I was in a very emotional state watching this movie. Um, it's and also saying that it like sucks is, I think, an overreaction. I don't think that the movie sucks. I don't think I would have rated it that positively if it sucked. I just think there's a lot that's bad about it, but there's some genuinely good stuff in the movie. Um, I think. So,
Yes, yes. I think that the movie is a little strange. I think that okay, so people really like this movie. I saw it. We saw it like kind of late at a later screening. It started at like 9 o'clock, and it wasn't a sold out theater, but there was probably like 30 or 40 people in the theater with us. Like it was like there were a lot of people there, and tons of laughter. Every joke was getting like audible laughs from the crowd. So like the movie was
yeah,
like fucking working. It
that's
was working.
that's where the big disconnect, I think, for both of
Yeah.
us probably is, which is strange to me because I had a similar experience. I would argue, and granted, it's not like I was just like, sometimes I talk about Marvel humor this way, or like, like I remember we talked about Deadpool and Wolverine, and I was like, I sat there for 2 hours and didn't laugh a single time. Like I couldn't believe how much fun the theater was having. With this movie, there was times that they got some giggles out of me. I'm not saying I like didn't, you know what I mean? Like it's not like so bad that I couldn't laugh at all, but I would say like
No, there were some things.
70% of the jokes are just kind of like, come on,
No,
guys.
yeah, exactly. I think I agree with that. Because my thing is like, granted, if you're listening to this, right, we have enough listeners where if you're listening to this, the odds that you liked the movie are very high, right? So I want to say like I'm not dumb. I'm not like, oh, like I don't understand how people could find this funny. Like there are moments like there were some specific jokes where I was like, that was a funny joke, right? It's more like the overall tone of the movie is like, come
Yeah.
on, guys, like. Can we take anything seriously? Can we take this
Yeah,
thing even
that's
like a
something I
little
wanted to talk about a
seriously?
lot because that's like, I think, the only place that I don't see eye to eye with the movie, which is that like it establishes that tone and then it never like truly wavers from how lighthearted it is, even in this like very dire situation. um and there's like there's some stuff in the movie that like in theory should be incredibly bleak
Yes, yes.
and really isn't. Like,
I think yes, sorry, not to cut you off.
no, you're good.
I think that I agree with you, and I think that as a hard sci-fi concept, um, similar to The Martian, right? Which The Martian is like really like a real hard sci-fi. This is like not, but it has the core of it though. The hard sci-fi concept where like there's a disease in space, right? There's a space disease that's killing stars. I think
Yeah,
that's a great idea. That's an
yeah,
incredible like idea for a like a hard sci-fi movie with like science about like how are we going to save the sun from how are we going to cure the sun with space disease? Like that's a great how did you come up with that? That's a great idea.
yeah.
A lot of the other stuff in this I think is kind of like gibbly goop and the way that they handle it I don't know, man. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's not like, like, I don't disagree with you. I think, yeah, I think just like thinking about it, because it's like, yeah, some stuff was funny. And I think even tonally, to me, when the movie gets super sincere, it works for me. Mostly, not every time, because especially towards the end, I was like, okay, this movie probably could have ended 30 minutes ago. But
Bro,
well, which that's like a different problem.
that
But
that we'll talk we'll have a whole conversation about that in 1 second.
yeah.
Uh,
But
yes.
I think the very sincere stuff, especially like the early slash like middle stages of Ryan Gosling's character, whose name I'm for Grace, right?
Yeah,
Um,
Grace.
meeting Rocky.
Mhm.
I think like a lot of their early slash middle of the movie stuff just like totally works. Like I was very emotional. I know you have some complaints about Rocky. Personally, I there's nothing that gets me more than when you just like take an object with no face and make it cute. It's like, okay, I like this thing a
Pissed me
lot.
off so bad, bro.
Um,
No, I
it's
think the sincere part of the movie that worked the most for me was when Grace was talking to Rocky and Rocky was like, "Yeah, I have a mate back home."
yes,
And
yeah.
and, uh, and
That
Rocky
made me very
yeah, and
emotional.
Rocky was like, "We had been together for 100 years."
Yeah,
And
like
and
190 years or something.
yeah, yeah, and then Rocky was like, "Yeah, but and Grace was like, "No, that's a really long time," right? After he said a joke, like sarcasm that
Yeah,
Rocky didn't understand, and Rocky was like, "Not long enough." That
yeah.
like that was played very straight, and it was like serious, and I was like, "That's very beautiful." Like that's how it
Yeah,
really feels. Like
I
that's
thought
yes.
that was very sweet. I agree.
Um,
I started crying a lot during that part.
that was because that was like that's one of the few moments in the movie where they took something kind of seriously, you know?
Yeah.
Broke. Okay, I need to talk about Rocky real quick.
Okay.
So the intellectual doofus, I think, is a character that is difficult for me, right? And I think that's what Grace is. Like Grace is like the intellectual doofus, where he's like, oh, he's a genius, but he's also like kind of like an idiot, you know? And he's kind of
Uh-huh.
like a silly guy. And he's like walking around and he's like, am I smart? Because he has amnesia when he wakes up at first, and he like
Yeah.
slowly gets his memories back, and he's like, wait, am I smart? Um,
Yeah.
and he's like just like being ridiculous. Like that's tough, bro. It wasn't working for me with Grace. It's a tough kind of character to get for me. It's kind of Andy Weir's whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
It's a tough guy. It's a tough character for me, but obviously it works for a lot of people. It's very broad. Because if you have like the intellectual genius that you play straight, it's not as funny, right? Or it's more difficult to get like broad humor out of that, you know? So I
Yeah.
understand. Whatever. It's just not for me. And that's whatever. It's fine. Not everything has to be for me. Everybody would kill themselves if everything was for me. Um um right? But then Rocky is also the intellectual doofus, right? Where he's also
Yes.
like the genius doofus, right? But it's even fucking worse because he's like a dog. It's like what if the dog from Up was a genius? And it's like Jesus Christ, bro. Um, Clara said in the movie theater she leaned over and was like, "Doesn't The Rock sound like Max?" Like she was like, "The Rock sounds like Max, like doing a voice on TikTok." And I couldn't stop thinking about that after she said it. But
That's really funny.
um,
I I didn't have a single thought about the voice other than that, like, I'm
well,
very glad they didn't, drag on any joke of, like, a celebrity you know, like, how they, like, did where
mhm.
they were, like, going through the voice options? I'm like, "Thank God they didn't have, like, an entire scene where it was doing, like, an impression of a celebrity." I'm glad it was, like, uh, just this whatever the voices that they chose, but
It doesn't also sorry, it's not hard sci-fi. The Martian was pretty hard sci-fi. This is very soft sci-fi. And the thing that pisses me off, and this is nitpicky, and I'm allowed to do this. This is nitpicky here, okay? And tell me what you think
it's
about this.
your
You can defend
podcast.
myself,
It's your
right?
podcast. You're allowed to do
Um,
anything technically.
the the Rocky's voice doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. One, how does Rocky understand Grace when they're talking, right? How does Rocky just pick up and understand what Grace is saying, you know? And the voice thing where like, oh, this isn't gonna work, and Grace has to like gives him a voice. Why does he have like vocal tics? Why is he like why is he talking like he has autism? Why is he like mumbling and saying things in broken English? And you know what I
Right,
mean?
because
Like
you're saying it's like a
it's a
translation, so it's like
translation.
yeah.
Like what the like what do you it doesn't make any sense. Like I couldn't stop thinking about that where I was like this doesn't make any sense in universe, right?
Yeah.
It's a nitpick, but
Is
it didn't bother me, but I was thinking about it the whole time.
is there not something that establishes how Rocky understands him?
I don't think so. Granted, the movie's 100 hours long, so I might have missed something.
I feel like at some point, like during that setup when they're like doing the translation, like the translating, I feel like something gets established, but I really can't remember what the detail is. Like I'm sure somebody in the comments could either confirm or deny whether that's set up. But
And in the book,
um,
granted, I imagine in the book they explain all of this because
yes,
Andy Weir, his books are engineer slop. His books are to come up with a fake problem and then reverse engineer it with real science, and then explain it to somebody that they could be like, "This is science." You know, so I imagine that there's an explanation for everything in the book.
yeah, interesting. I've not read one of his books, but I've
I read The
heard
Martian.
nothing but very good things about Project Hail Mary from a lot of people.
Yes,
I don't
yeah.
know if that means that I will like it, but
Granted,
for
and
people I know
I
who
didn't
have read
read
it, they
Project Hail
like it a
Mary,
lot.
and I'm sure it's different from The Martian, but The Martian was real engineer slop. Was real like, "Oh my god. Oh my god. How am I gonna survive? Oh, I know. There's potatoes. Oh, how am I gonna make potatoes? Oh, I'm gonna use fertilizer. How do I use fertilizer if why don't they use fertilizer with human feces at home? Oh, it's because of this. And oh, how am I gonna do this? Oh, I'm gonna use these materials to make this, to make
Yes.
this, to
So
make
it's just
that.
like explaining a lot to you.
It's just explaining, it's just creating fake problems and then using science to reverse engineer the solution in the
Interesting.
writing, which is smart.
See, something about this movie is that it's a you talked about how, like, the scenario is very smart. It is, like
I love the scenario.
it mostly parallels a real problem, which is that, like, the planet's dying.
Like global warming, yes, yeah.
Yes. So, from that perspective, I also feel like the movie kind of fails because a lot of what it sets up is just, like I mean, mostly, like, tonally, like you're saying, it's like, I just don't think that a movie like this should be as lighthearted as it is, especially because there's like a sort of like the framework for the movie is that Grace like gradually gets his memories back as time, like he's woken up and it's like now I'm remembering this thing and now I'm remembering that thing. And like I just personally think that you would have to play it 10 times darker when he comes to the realization of like, oh, people are like kind of evil. Like when he's like reminded of the memory of like people are pretty evil. Um I just like I think there needs to be more weight to that for any of this to make sense because that's what the like that's why the situation exists. Not in the movie. In the movie it's just like this random thing that happened in space. But you're not writing this book or making this movie to not comment on what's happening in real life. Like it's very obviously like about climate change. And so like if that's what you're doing, like I need you to like get real for a second cuz like climate change isn't just like like kind of whatever word you use before like goober shit or whatever you said. Like it's you know what I mean? It's like I just like there's never like a moment where it gets serious enough for me. And I don't think the whole movie has to be because like duh, like obviously that's not what they're trying to do. Like they're trying to make the movie that they made, which is this like blockbuster with mass appeal. Um
And it's
I
very
just
successful.
yes.
They successfully did the thing they wanted to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think that if I was going to take this movie seriously beyond that, which as that like I said, like I liked the movie. I was like I cried a lot. I thought it was pretty fun for most of it. Like as that that's cool, but, like, if you want me to take the movie seriously, like, you have to take the movie seriously. So I don't know. That's, like, my biggest complaint, I guess, is that I wish there were, like, some I just wish there was a little bit more
Yeah,
real conflict, like
and part of why some of the more serious or even like some of the darker moments in the movie didn't work for me, because again, I really like that I really remember the only part that of the movie that kind of got me a little bit, not got me like I was tricked or anything, but like that I like resonated with emotionally was the Rocky talking about his mate. um so I mean, spoilers from the movie, right? There's an explosion that happens and a bunch of
mhm,
fucking people die, and it's like really
yeah,
serious. I didn't feel the weight of that moment because the Grace, the character, is not a human being. Not, and I don't mean that in I I mean that the way it says, right? Like, right, he's like a cartoon character, you know? He's like a character from the Spider-Verse movies, right? So it's like we have this moment and it's really serious and it's like, "Oh, how do we deal with it?" You know, we have Sandra Holler being like, "You have to go up there." And then Grace is like, you know, he's like a cartoon, he's like standing on stuff going like, "Ah!" You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
"Bro, like people died. Like this
Which
shit is
that is, like,
serious."
in
Like,
theory, the bleakest part of the movie. Not only that or people are dying, but that they're gonna, like, fucking sedate him and, like, send him up to space. Like, that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I
And it's played for like it's
agree.
like you gotta believe in yourself, man. You
Yeah.
are
I
so
will
special.
say the movie because you're mentioning, like, him not being a human, I think like, the movie got a lot out of me from one specific scene, which I don't know if you cared about this at all, and maybe this is literally just because, I'm in fucking grad school
Oh,
for
like
teaching,
him
but
him talking to the
when
kids?
he's in the classroom with the kids, I was like I was like, "Oh, I might love this movie." Like, I was
Mhm.
watching that scene and I was like, "This might actually be awesome," and that, like that scene specifically carried a lot of weight for his character for the rest of the movie for me because
I
I
think
thought
that's
that
fair.
was so well done. Like
Yeah.
truly like he seemed like as
Or like there
much of
was
a
like a
human being.
serious like adult
Yes.
problem and it's like, "Oh, how would you navigate
And
that?" Right?
and
Yeah.
that is like something I we're gonna have to talk about Ryan Gosling, but like
Mhm.
I think Ryan Gosling really is one of the most talented people in Hollywood, no debate. Like that's truly like the hill I'm willing to die on. That scene is like Ryan Gosling at the height of his power. Like this is like that is what he can do so well. Like
Mhm.
he did that so much for the early parts of his career and he also could do other stuff really well. Like he is hilarious. You know, like he is a movie star. Like he knows how to do that stuff. But like when he's in the classroom with these kids, I'm like that there's so much humanity in that
Yes.
performance that I like that's what I love about Ryan Gosling. Like that is what I've always loved about him.
If you wanna talk about
Um
Ryan Gosling, the performer, sorry, um, he he is a very special performer. I think obviously, right? There's a
yeah,
reason why there was that meme where it's like, "This is literally me," and it's just pictures of Ryan Gosling in various movies, you know? Because he is very relatable, right? Specifically to, like, a certain kind of young man. He's very relatable. He has a role model quality to him, where and he carries so much weight, you know, without speaking. He carries so much weight and so much empathy, right?
yeah,
Like always, you know, he it's
yeah,
like you can put your emotions onto Ryan Gosling. That's why, you know, that's why he's such an incredible actor partly is because you could put even at his like blank slate, you could put whatever you're feeling onto him and feel and like
yeah,
and you feel like he's feeling that the most anybody's ever felt the feeling that you're putting on him, you know? And
yeah,
that's why he's fucking those Nicholas Winding Refn movies that he was in are like knockout performances because he's not saying
yeah,
any words. It's just his face, you know, and it's like you feel like whatever feeling you're feeling, you feel like he has felt that more than any human being has ever felt that, you know?
yeah,
Um, and in like the classroom scene, it's like he's navigating that like with like pretty seriously, you know, where he's like, oh, like
yeah,
he is the teacher, you know, and he's like, oh, like how do grant it? But then right after that, he turns into a fucking cartoon character. Um,
yeah. Yeah,
so
which I get why that bothers you. I just that scene for me, like, really did. So I was watching that and I was like, "Man, this guy's so good." Like and really, I would say and I know character is gonna affect how much you judge his performance, but, like, really, I would say for most of the movie, like, I'm like, "Yeah, Ryan Gosling's a great actor." Like, I think he's very compelling as like a movie star that has to carry the weight of he's acting opposite a fucking rock with a voice but like a rock and he's great like I like for most of it I don't know if his character is great but I think you get a lot out of Ryan Gosling given the character for really almost the whole movie like
right,
I think it's a very good performance I don't think it's like yeah, I wouldn't call it great because I don't think that the character is enough to get him there. But like Ryan Gosling's doing the most with what he has in this movie, which is more than I could say for a lot of his recent performances.
No,
Which,
yeah,
like, to
and
me, this is like a step back in the right direction, even if the type of movie that it is not quite like where I really want Ryan Gosling. The truth is where we want Ryan Gosling at is not a place he's ever gonna be back at
no, he's not gonna
again.
do Nicholas Winding Refn movies anymore,
Yeah.
right? And which is unfortunate, you know, it would be amazing. What if bro, what if, what's that new Nicholas her something,
Oh,
what's
Her
it called?
Private Hell or
Yeah,
something.
Her
Is
Private
that what
Hell.
it is?
What if that
Yeah.
comes out and there's just a and he's just,
A
like
Ryan Gosling cameo.
there's a cameo where he just, like, owns a scene, like it's Bradley Cooper in Licorice Pizza?
Dude, if he just showed up for, like, one scene.
Wouldn't that are we talking we sound like fucking Marvel dweebs, but wouldn't that be
No, I
crazy?
know, but, like, if he just, like,
That would
showed up and was like, "Hey, by the way, like, I'm Ryan Gosling," um, that would be
bro, that would be
incredible.
crazy.
That would be so incredible,
Yeah.
because here's the thing is, like, we okay, this is pulling in our buddies over at Real Talk, right? But they recorded their episode on this movie this morning,
Yeah.
and I haven't listened to the episode yet because of the time that we're recording this. Oh, we
But we got
can't,
a message
but
from the
but
inside.
we got a message from Tyler telling us that George said Ryan Gosling was a better actor than Denzel Washington. I don't know what happens in this episode. That's a crazy comment. But then Tyler tweeted like rank these actors, and it was Denzel Washington, Leo, Christian Bale, and Ryan Gosling. And the way that I ranked those was Denzel 1, Leo 2, but you could flip it if you want. Really doesn't matter. Bale 3, Gosling 4. But when you look at like the movies that Bale's been in, he doesn't really have like the movies to back up the amount of talent that he has, which I
Yeah, the
think
thing
is
is, like,
also
Bale has
true.
range, right? That's
Yes,
that yeah,
Bale's. I mean, there's no denying how good Christian Bale is. It's just
yeah.
that like I don't like he doesn't pick projects that speak to how good of an actor he is, with
No,
the
he
exception of
loves
like he's
yeah,
in a Terrence Malick movie here or he's in a Michael Mann movie there, but like
yeah.
a lot of it is like he's
Bro,
working with
Ryan
with
Gosling was in a
shitters.
fucking
Like
Terrence Malick movie too. Same era Terrence
yes,
Malick.
yes,
Yeah.
literally, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like Ryan Gosling, the thing is, I very much like was freaking out at receiving that text because I was like, literally, how the fuck could you tell me Ryan Gosling is a better actor than Denzel Washington? That's crazy. But if Ryan Gosling's like career trajectory, which it never was going to be, obviously, like I've gotten over it at this point, but if it was just like more of the shit that he did for the first 15 years of his career up until today, it's like he might not be better than Denzel Washington. He
Mhm.
would really be one of the greatest living actors. Like I really do think that like that is the level of talent that
From a
Ryan
level of,
Gosling has.
like, what his career would reflect that, right? For, like,
Yes,
his
yes,
body of work. Yeah.
yes. Because I
Um,
do like to
yeah.
me it's crazy to put him in a conversation with those three actors, but at the same time it's like not because it's like how do we measure that like talent at that high of a level? You know, it's
Right.
like it really comes down to like what have we seen?
Well,
And
because he has the energy, the aura. It's the aura, right? That's the
yes,
thing where it's like aura is undeniable. That's what I was trying to get at you before, right? And that's why
yeah.
him in the Nicholas Winding Refn movies and in Song to Song, right, is so effective and great. Where it's like I could pitch this, right? You know, imagine what if Ryan Gosling was in a Ryosuke Hamaguchi film? You know what I'm saying? It would like it's just like you could imagine it, and immediately you're like, oh, that's perfect. Like obviously,
Yeah.
you know, right? It's
Yeah.
like
No, I get yeah. And that's like my problem is like dude like I I do think he's one of the most talented actors alive. Like I
Mhm.
just like he's not Denzel Washington, but it doesn't mean that he can't be. It's just that we're probably never gonna find out if he can.
Yeah,
I
and it's
don't know.
not a moral
He's never
failing or
he's
anything.
never
He wants to
done
do
his Malcolm X, you know? Like and we're
yeah,
probably never gonna get his Malcolm X if the rest of his career looks like Project Hail Mary, you
and
know?
that's okay because also, you know, Ryan Gosling is a human being that and he wants to
Yes.
be he it's like, oh, like he wants to be very famous or at least he wants to be in like big broad movies with like really big paychecks, you know,
Yeah.
which is okay because he's a person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a fine thing. I don't yeah. It's more just like that sucks. It's
No,
more
yeah,
just
it
like
sucks.
that's things
Yeah.
for us. But like it's yeah, it's true. I think this goes along with like the Oscar conversation we had last week, which is that like we just need to treat these people like human beings a little bit more. And it's like,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
Ryan Gosling, it's like, yeah, one of the most talented actors ever. you know, if he wants to be in fucking Project Hail Marys for the rest of his life, good for Ryan Gosling, dude. I don't know. I mean, he'll be very wealthy and probably very happy.
Yeah.
And the truth is, like, I'm still gonna like him forever. Like, it's like
Yeah, I
when you
don't
know,
dislike him. I don't
like
like his
he's been
character in
one of my
this
favorite
movie,
actors
but
for my
it's
whole
yeah.
life. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think he's as good as he can be in this movie, which is a testament to how good he is in general. But I don't know. I don't know like when they're gonna announce a Ryan Gosling project, and I'm gonna be like, oh, that's so exciting.
I don't
And
think see,
I'm
that's
just
the
like,
thing. I don't think it's gonna happen anymore. I
I just
just
think that it, but it's like if there's like some overlap though between like
bro, like, he's gonna
big,
be in that new Star Wars movie, and it's like,
yeah, like that's a disaster.
fuck, yeah.
But what I'm saying is like there has to be a point where like two things converge. It's like if you are going to be a movie star and you're going to make movie star movies, there are movie star directors. Like it's like, and obviously there's not like, you know, a long list of them or people who have like gotten the budget to prove that they can do that. But like, you know, it's not impossible to imagine a scenario where Ryan Gosling's in a Christopher Nolan movie or like or a Christopher Nolan type of director. Um I mean, he was just in Barbie. Like it's like that's you know. Um
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm not saying it's going to be Nolan, but I'm saying like directors like that at some point there has to be like some converging of these two things. If it's like you're a movie star in movie star movies and there are still directors making big massive blockbusters, like what those two things are going to pair up at some point, I would hope. If not, that would be the really sad thing. You know, like that's like I'm fine with him having this career trajectory if it means that like
Well,
we
like,
get one for us at some point.
people would say that it already happened with he 'cause he was in the Blade Runner movie. Uh,
Yeah, sure. I mean, people could say that for a number of them. I mean, he was in
the
yeah, I
like
guess Blade Runner's pretty big. I mean, it's Blade Runner and Barbie are like and now this movie are the biggest movies of his career.
and then there's some people
Um
that would argue, and this is I wanna talk about this a little bit, that, like, people would argue that Lord and Miller are, like, major artists.
yeah, yeah, I guess we haven't really talked about them at all.
Um,
Um uh
that's the other
that's
thing too.
interesting.
I I well, because I don't think that Lord and Miller will ever make something for me, ever, but, like, they're, like, some of they're, like, the faces, bro. They run the they don't they're not the directors for the Spider-Verse movies because they don't, they're not, like, whatever. They, like it's those are their movies, though. Like, they're, like,
Yeah,
really hands-on directors.
yeah.
Um,
Um I mean, they made the Jump Street movies, so
they made the
I
Jump Street movies. They made the
listen,
Lego
they've got
movie.
they've got a place in my heart for sure because those movies aren't going anywhere for me. But also that like kind of annoys me because I'm like those movies are pretty timelessly funny in
Mhm.
a way that this movie is not. Which granted, this is an adaptation, so I don't know.
Well, and, like, they're not
But
writers also. Like, the Jump Street movies were written by Michael Bacall, who
sure,
wrote fucking
yeah,
Scott Pilgrim and Project X.
yeah. But there is just like there is like some overlap, I think, where like they do a lot of like the humor that we get out of Ryan Gosling when he like first wakes up from his coma, like, and he's like just like a
Mm.
body like moving, and it's like kind of like that's like the
It
kind of
is
stuff where you're
it's
like,
like
this is
Channing
dumb.
Tatum and Jump
That
Street.
is yes,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
You know what I mean? I'm like
Yeah, I
there
do know what
is
you
some
mean.
overlap there where it's like, but in the Jump Street movies, it's funny, like
Right.
so. I
Well,
don't know.
also, like, Channing Tatum's funnier than Ryan Gosling, but that's it's like that not to say, Channing Tatum is just, like, kind of a generational, talent, like, comedic talent, I think.
Yeah, I that would be like it would be hard for me to disagree with you because I'm just so high on Channing Tatum, but I think like when Ryan Gosling is given good comedic material. I mean, and it's like in movies that you don't like as much as me. So I
Sure.
like that's probably why like The Nice Guys and Crazy Stupid Love, I think Ryan
No,
Gosling
he's
is
good in Crazy Stupid
hilarious in
Love.
those
It's not
movies.
physical comedy, though,
Um
as much as it's,
sure.
like, a
Sure.
delivery,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Um anyway,
The
yeah.
script is very bad. Not just the comedy or the dialogue or whatever, structurally, it is not structurally sound. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, everybody, granted, I've commented on it. The movie feels very long. This movie felt like the longest movie I'd ever seen in my fucking life. I cannot believe. I thought the movie was wrapping up, like we were about to end. Like actually thinking about the structure of the film and saying like, no, I guess it is about to end soon. And then the movie went on for another 60 minutes. Um,
Interesting. I really didn't think the movie felt long at all
wow, really?
until like the last 20 to 30 minutes when they
Okay.
started doing several. I was like, "Oh, this movie should have been over." Like,
Mhm.
but during most of the movie, I was like, "This is fun." Like, I never like felt tired.
Bro, I felt
It was
so tired. I was
during.
like, this shit is so long.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, I guess. I don't know. There is some stuff in the middle there where I could imagine you being
Yeah,
bored
but that's the other
during,
thing too,
but
where like when we really started to get into the weeds with like Gosling and Rocky, like really like towards the end of the second act, I was like, bro, this shit is boring. I was also kind of
yeah,
like, I was like, this is like not exciting.
yeah.
Which
I
is like a
felt
meat thing, like a taste thing.
Sure.
So
I felt that the spectacle of the movie, not like visually, but in terms of like big action spectacle, like the stuff
yeah.
that like makes it a blockbuster, was pretty underwhelming. And I don't know if that was just because I never yeah, I guess it's just like a buying in thing, you know, because when you
Mhm.
watch, like, any of the like, when you watch, like, another space movie, there's, like, you watch Interstellar or whatever, and, like, there's some, like, your hands get sweaty when, like, a character's in space, and they're, like he's doing Ryan Gosling in this movie
Yeah.
is, like, outside of the ship, and, like, you're supposed to, like, be really, nervous watching it.
Yeah.
I, like, personally didn't feel that way, and I wonder if it's just because I didn't try or if it's actually just a problem with the movie.
I'm not an Interstellar like shooter or like truther. That's not one of my movies. Like it is
Yeah.
for lots of people. Like it is. I don't know. Is it for you? Like, are you a big Interstellar person?
It's not like my favorite movie in the world, and when I rewatched it in IMAX recently, I was like, "Oh, this is worse than I remember," but
Sure.
it still really works.
This this Interstellar is a much better movie than this.
Yeah,
Even though like the hard
I think
sci-fi stuff in Interstellar is
undoubtedly.
like
Yeah,
nonsense, like it's like
yeah,
Interstellar is like love is science, like nonsense, whatever. It's like it's so sincere. It is
yeah.
so
One of, like,
sincere.
the most sincere movies I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Project Hail Mary would have gained so much just by like 1% of Interstellar sincerity.
yeah. No, I agree with that wholeheartedly, and I think also just, like I mean, we haven't really talked about it, but Greg Fraser shot this movie, which is something we have to mention.
He
Uh,
did shoot this movie. It doesn't look very good. I think
yeah,
compared to some of Greg Fraser's best work, I
I
would say.
think the movie looks good. I don't think it looks
Oh,
yeah, like up to I guess what you're saying, like up to his level.
and it's not his
And I
fault.
yeah, it's not. I still think it looks I don't think it looks bad. Um and I think there are some teams that look really good. I wonder though. I was also thinking about like when they not like directly reference, but when it feels like Interstellar or like 2001 A Space Odyssey like during the movie, I was like, do we need this? I don't know. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
I do,
It's one
I
of those
do.
things where it's like you're reminded of like a better movie, and then you're like, okay, I don't, and like sometimes I'm like, that's cute. Like sometimes I don't mind. I think like the parallels to Interstellar, I was just like, this definitely doesn't need to like with any scene that looked kind of like Interstellar. I was like, this isn't Interstellar. Like you're not there.
No, of course.
And then there's like kind of the 2001 A Space Odyssey type of like with a close up with his like when he's in the I don't know, like all the colors are changing and it's like a whole thing. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Anything else?
No, I just want to
We
say I think
didn't.
the script's a disaster from like a structural like
Yeah,
there
fucking
should have been
Drew Goddard,
no,
dude.
there should have been like serious editing on the script level of the film, like before they even started
Yes,
shooting. They should have, yeah.
I I would agree that that's the worst part of the movie.
Yeah.
And in fact,
And I think the
maybe
actual like filmic editing also is not very good in the movie, but I think that a lot of that could have been resolved if they edited the scripts. They just like, take out
yeah.
whole scenes, bro. Like,
Oh, did you wanna talk about the various endings? Because it seemed like earlier in the pod you, like, had something to say about the end the multiple endings.
oh, no, just like it just felt long. That's all I was getting at. It was like, bro,
Yeah,
why is
okay.
this fucking Return of the King? You know? Like
Yeah,
literally, like the extended version of Return of the King, where the movie ends 6 times. Where and
right.
I love Lord of the Rings. I think that doesn't work also in that movie. The movie's 4 hours long. Doesn't need to end 6 times.
Fair, yeah. Um, the other thing I guess I just wanted to talk about, because like, you kind of hinted at it at the beginning of the pod, is, like, you said that you were surprised at the A Cinema Score slash top 100 movie on Letterboxd status. Um, why? Why do you think when you were watching it, like, I'm shocked that people love it this much, and what is your explanation for why people love it this much?
This movie is 11 spots higher than The Thing on the Letterboxd
Yeah,
top
I
500
mean, and if
list.
you do that with the letterbox list, though, you're gonna find some pretty. We
I
should do
know.
a podcast one day where we just like find the worst, like letterboxed sandwiches. Like look at the whole top 500 and just find the worst. Like this movie is in between these two movies,
Yeah.
um, thing, and see what we could find.
Oh,
But
there's some bad ones. Um, I I guess like I'm not surprised. I mean, the it's just playing like an A cinema score is really well. It's just really worked on people. Where to me, like by the end of the movie, I was like, bro, we gotta wrap this shit up. Like I'm watching the movie and there's the plot point where it's like, fuck, and this is what I mean, where like there has to be editing on the script level, right? Um, where there's a plot point that gets brought up where he's like, "Oh no, the fucking the parasites that's the cure for the goddamn space disease. It's like it's eating through the container, and the container is made out of the thing that Rocky's spaceship is made out of. So I need to go save Rocky." And it's like, dude, when that plot point is revealed, I'm like, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm going to kill myself. I don't give a
yeah,
fuck. I don't care at all. Like not 1% do not care about this. Like, bro, we gotta wrap it up. Yeah.
that's funny. I that felt like logical to me, but also that the movie should have ended before it happened. I think it made sense for the character, but I because like the character has no like people in his life, which is they
No, I'm
like
not saying
stress
it
to
doesn't
us
make
multiple
sense. I
times.
was just like, I don't
But
care,
no,
bro.
yeah,
Like
I
as
I
a
agree
viewer.
that I think like when they are initially supposed to go home, like let's get to the resolution,
Yeah.
as opposed to like what we get later, which is that Ryan Gosling is like on their planet.
And
Uh
I get it. Like I get it. Like it happens in the book, probably, right? And also they're
yeah, I
like,
imagine.
we wanna have Grace go onto the Rocky planet. Like we wanna have that in the movie. It happens in the book, whatever. You gotta change the script, bro. You gotta make it so instead of Rocky giving him the shit so that he could go home, you have to have Rocky be like, you can come home with me. You know? You can come home
Yeah,
with me. And it's like that makes it since you have another opportunity for a sincere moment. You don't have to have the fucking nonsense. It's not nonsense, but I don't care. Where he's like, "Oh, I gotta go save Rocky because this evolved to eat through the thing," and it's like, "Ah, blah 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 blah." Sorry, I'm being an
yeah.
asshole. Being an
No,
asshole,
I
but
mean,
like, but no, but that's like in the that's how I felt in the theater. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I felt like I was dying when that happened. I was like, "There's no way we're gonna there.
yeah.
There's more stuff going on." Anyways,
Yeah. That's fair. I don't know. Obviously, I think like modern that there's just a big crowd for modern sci-fi, and
there
I
is people
definitely
miss space movies broadly. They just
people
miss
miss
space
them, and
movies.
I think it's also like you need I was just kind of anticipating that like this generation would get their Interstellar because of how often you hear about
It's
Interstellar.
so
Where
crazy
it's
to
like
me.
I think I think
Time
every
is
10
moving,
years
bro.
you just like need an Interstellar because people like really want that. And like the way people have talked about Interstellar for the past 10 years indicates that they want that. And so like this movie doing that is like, you know. A lot of people are very happy about that.
Yeah,
I
I guess it's crazy for me to think that because like in my head, this generation's Interstellar is Interstellar, but I guess it's not, right? Because it came out Interstellar came out like what 2014 or whatever.
2014. Yeah, I
But
mean, it's well, like it depends how you're defining generation. Obviously, for most people, like that is
no,
like
but
what you're saying is true.
people that were born in the 2010s, right? They're like 16 now or whatever. You know, they're old enough to where like Interstellar was a movie that came out when they were a baby or like right before they were born.
Yes, sure.
So it
Yeah.
would be like it would
And that's another thing we didn't even really talk about this because you were kind of talking about how Rocky feels like a dog. One thing I want to mention that I think is actually like very applicable for why people like the movie so much is it is kind of just like a kids movie. Like it is
yes. It
like
feels
the
like it's
Rocky
like a kid's
character
cartoon.
is like this could be just an animated movie and I don't think it would do as well because obviously Ryan Gosling leading the movie is a big part of it. But like,
I agree.
but it but it is kind of just like a like structured and written like a kids movie a
It
little
feels like one of Lord and Miller's kids movies that they
bit. Yeah.
produce, you know, like the Spider-Verse movies, or they produce also the Mitchell's versus the Machine movie, which
Mhm.
those movies I'm not a big fan of, obviously. Which is I don't, have you seen Mitchell's versus the Machines?
I have,
Um,
and I like that movie, and I like Spider Verse as we've talked about on the pod
right,
before. But
yeah.
I get what you're saying.
You know, it's like
Um,
this could have been a movie like that, you know.
yes,
It could, and it would have like literally the script could have been adapted into one of those, and it would have been fine too. But
yeah.
yeah,
It's yeah. It's no, it's just like it's something to think about. I don't know. I get the wide appeal, and then there's also just like kind of I don't at the same time. We also didn't talk about Sandra Huller at all, except for like one small mention. Because a lot of people have talked about her performance of Harry Styles's
that
Sign
was
of the
great. That's the
Times.
other. That's the other moment. There were two sincere moments that got to me. It was her doing that, and then the Rocky talking to his partner. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Sophie Holsinger, if you're listening to this, lock in for fucking 15 seconds, okay? She listens to our podcast sometimes. I don't know if she still
Most of the
does.
time, I think.
Um, but Sign of the Times, Harry Styles, one of the great songs.
I love that
I'm gonna be
song.
honest, if I
I
had to make a list of my 100 favorite songs, it might be on the list, straight up.
damn.
Yeah.
It's not even my favorite Harry Styles song, but it's
Oh,
close, I
it's, like, by
guess.
far and away my favorite Harry Styles song,
I
but
really like Sweet Creature, which is on the same album, I
mhm,
think. But Sign of the Times is probably in the top 3. Yeah, I don't know.
great
Um,
song,
New
phenomenal
Harry
song.
Styles album. Sorry if you're listening, Sophie. New Harry Styles album. I was not a fan. I thought it was pretty bad.
I did not listen to it. I
Um,
listened to the lead single and I was like, "Ah, meh."
I was listening to the whole album and I was like, there is not a memorable song on this album. Like, it's very unfortunate because I don't think any of it is like bad necessarily. But you know what I mean? Like, you know, when you listen to like an album and you're just like, I'm just gonna forget about this like the second it's over, and then like
Yeah.
you get towards the end and you're just like, yeah, I mean, I just want to listen to something else now.
Did you
Like,
listen to the Underscores album that came out the same day?
no, I did not. Should I?
Yeah, you should. It's not very long, so you should just, like, give it a spin and see if you like it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good.
Cool.
Uh Just stop your crying, it's a sign of the times.
No, I agree. I thought that scene was very good. I like Sandra Hüller.
Mhm.
I think she's a very talented actor.
She doesn't have to do a lot in this movie, but it's
No,
okay.
doesn't. Also, not literally nobody other than Ryan Gosling does. Although I will say, kind of loved when Lionel Boyce is on screen from The Bear. Well,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
acting wise from The Bear. I thought he was a lot of fun. I was like, maybe I don't know. Like weirdly, I feel like a lot of my favorite parts of this movie are when they're not in space. Is what I'm realizing. Like I'm kind of like describing all my favorite scenes, and I'm like, wait, all of my favorite scenes are just when he's in flashbacks to life on Earth, which is interesting because yeah, I don't know, like if the movie just like changed tonally a little bit, that stuff would yeah, I talked myself into being emotional while watching this movie is the other thing I'll say, you know? And maybe that's why I want the tone to be more serious than it is, sometimes at least, because like during watching the movie, like what made me really emotional was not even necessarily anything happening in the movie. as much as like we're all dying scenario, like, you know what I mean? Like I was sitting in my seat and I was just like, man, like we really are all dying
Yeah.
now. And I was feeling sad about it and I was like, yeah, I just like I wanted the movie to reflect what was like really happening in my heart, and instead I just like kind of used what was happening in my heart to be like, man, it's really sad when him and Rocky get separated. You know, like I'm like it's really sad when he's not watching Rocky sleep. You know, like uh, yeah, I don't know. It worked for me though. Listen, I liked the movie. Doug didn't. I feel like that's a good place to move
True.
on. We're going to talk about some news, but first, reminding everybody to share some feedback if you like listening to us talk about Project Hail Mary. You can like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. You can rate the episode on Spotify and Apple Podcast, and you can follow us at all of the links in the episode description. Uh, Not a very busy news week post Oscars, you know, light news, but there was a report which stuff like this has been discussed before, but I guess this is like a potential confirmation of it. Paul Thomas Anderson reportedly rewrote Martin Scorsese's upcoming film, What Happens at Night, as well as working on the script for Killers of the Flower Moon. You know, in the past, I think there was rumors that he had worked on Killers of the Flower Moon, as well as like a bunch of other movies. Um, this, I guess, is a more credible report. Um,
Yeah, no,
it's
that's cool. It
cool.
makes
Listen, the
sense.
writing in Killers of the Flower Moon is really good.
Yeah.
It's really good script, and I'd imagine that What Happens at Night is also gonna be a really good script.
Is What Happens at Night an adaptation?
I think so, yes. Um, is this book the same? Yes, okay, this is the same. Yeah, so Peter Cameron book. Um,
Okay.
Interesting. Not like a super popular book or anything.
Yeah, just gonna keep
But
that in mind. Trying to read books that we talk about for movies we talk about on the pod. Oh, I just looked up What Happens at Night. The amount of AI bullshit that pops up is crazy. This is
yeah.
crazy. You just Google What
Oh
Happens
yeah.
at Night and you get just bombarded with AI fake trailers and movie posters. We live in
Yeah.
hell, bro. We fucking
No,
live in
I know.
hell. What
It's
the
so
fuck is
bad.
this?
It's so bad. Yeah. No, I agree with that sentiment, but I'm always finding that like movies or like book adaptations of movies are like those are not the books I want to be reading like
No,
in
yeah. Like
any
I'm
given
I'm
moment.
reading
I
Remain
I
right now.
struggled like, oh yeah, I mean that would be worth it. I would imagine. But
And but like, like Killers of the Flower Moon, that was a real book. What
yes, that
Happens at
book's
Night?
probably really
What
good.
Happens at
Yeah.
Night seems like it's a real book. But it's like somebody like Martin Scorsese has like taste. I want to read what's the it's the Colleen Hoover book
One.
Valerie or
Oh, Verity
Verity. It's cuz the one with Josh
and Hathaway
and Hathaway and
Josh
what's his
Hartnett, sorry.
Hartnett, thank you. Yes. And Josh Hartnett and Hathaway. I want to read that book because that's we're probably going to talk about that movie on the pod. Um
I Yeah, almost certainly,
and
I'd
that book I could
imagine.
probably read in like an afternoon.
Yeah. We did not talk about
um
reminders of him this week or
thank
last week, I
God,
guess,
bro.
whichever.
Thank fuck.
I can't wait to go see it though. So no, listen, I I'm
Bro,
gonna watch every fucking Colleen Hoover movie that comes out. I do not care. I didn't have time to go see it the past week, and that to me is like a movie theater trip with my girlfriend, but my girlfriend was like, "You want to see that?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like we've seen because her and I have seen the last two Colleen Hoover movies together, and I was like,
yeah.
"Don't you want to?" And she was like, "No, they suck." And I was like, "Oh, my bad." I'm like, "I'm over here having like a great time watching them." She's like, "Have you seen the trailer?" Like she's telling me how shitty the trailer looks. I'm like, "Wait,
Yeah.
I like it."
It looks no, it looks fucking horrendous. Oh my
It
god, the
moves me. It's like not. It doesn't move me in the
I'm
way
the
that like.
ordinary.
No,
And
yes,
now
I
look at
love
me
that. Like
now, the
no, because like
ordinary.
that's such a distinct like
What a generational trailer song.
no, because like yes. No, like literally yes. Like this is what you like you're not like you're like not you, but like but people need to understand like it's I'm not saying that the trailer is good. Like I'm not watching the Reminders of Him trailer and being like, "Wow, that's cinema." But like taking whatever the fuck the plot of that movie is and like matching it with that song, like this moves me, you know? It's like this is like fucking this is like slop and I am like a fucking a slop eating pig. Like this is my shit right here. This is the kind of stuff like Colleen Hoover should have existed when I was 14, dude. Because I swear I would have I would have been fucking I mean obviously I don't know when any of these books came out, but if they were making Colleen Hoover movies when I was 14, bro, you don't you can't even imagine how high the ratings for those movies would be.
No,
Um
this would have been like, yeah, you would have been like, bro, maybe your favorite movie would have been a Colleen Hoover movie.
like literally.
Yeah,
Like it's like how much different is a Colleen Hoover movie from like The Perks of Being a Wallflower?
no, no,
You
yeah,
know?
I mean, yes. Probably, I mean, it's probably like a little bit worse, but
Oh yes, of course. I'm
yes.
that's mean to The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I
Yeah.
don't a lot of serious people would tell you that movie is bad. I personally not my worldview, but like it's night and day between that and a Colleen Hoover movie. I think we can agree on. But still, it's like yes, there are movies very similar to Colleen Hoover movies that I grew up adoring and as a result still adore. Um it's very possible. Like that new one that I watched with Dave Franco and Allison Brie, I already forgot the name of it,
Oh,
but like
Jesus Christ.
I I 100% would have given that like 4.5 stars if I was 14 years old, you know?
Bro,
Just to give some insight into who I was as a as a 14.
okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, most exciting piece of news all week. I was pumped to see this because I have no idea what the fuck this is gonna be, but I'm excited. Michaela Cole is set to write and direct a reimagining of Bloodsport for A24. This is so awesome. Like, because the thing is, I haven't
Interesting.
really like I'm not very familiar with the work of Michaela Cole.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't
I
know.
know as a writer director, Michaela Cole is most known for the one thing that like was very well received. I May Destroy You. I know
Oh,
a
I May
lot of
Destroy
people who
You.
have watched that limited series and are like, this shit is amazing. I like
Writer wrote, co-directed, and starred in.
yes, yes.
Okay.
And I hear very good things about that show. I don't know if those are good for TV good things or like good as in she can direct movies and like write and direct movies. But regardless, I want to see what the fuck
What?
her
I'm
doing
sorry.
Bloodsport means.
Yeah, that's like what do you mean? That's what I'm like, what are you
That's
talking
what I'm
about?
saying. I saw the news and I was like, wait a second. I was like, wait, this
It's
could
gonna be like
be
like a high-minded, kind of elevated spin on it, where it's like not obviously it's not like where it's not
oh, it's yes.
like a
It is
guy
gonna be
beating
so
people up.
far from the original
Yeah.
Bloodsport, which like which so in my head automatically I'm like, it's not going to be as good, but I'm so interested. Like, I'm, like, fascinated
Is it
by
going to be an action movie? You know?
I would think so. Yes.
Is she going to be like an act like is she going to be doing like fight choreography in the movie? These are questions I'm just like I'm serious. It's like
No,
what is it?
I
Yeah, it's
don't know.
interesting. Anyways,
I'm very excited to see her in Mother Mary, which is on the way soon because, that'll give me like, I've seen her in, uh, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which, you know, not like a serious role, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and 2 episodes of Black Mirror. So that is like my familiarity with Michaela Cole. I'm very interested to see her in Mother Mary, and then I do think I'd like to probably check out this I May Destroy You show sometime between now and her making a Bloodsport movie because that to me is like crazy.
I'm
Um,
so interested.
yeah, I feel like it's gonna be really cool. I would hope. I hope I'm going to really like it. But I need like way more details because
Yeah.
that's such a like a Bloodsport reimagining is such a like that's something that you know like kind of like we did this episode where we just like make up scenarios that are never going to happen. like that's some shit that we would say on the podcast. It's like someone should just like remake Bloodsport, you know?
Yeah.
Like I never thought that that was a possibility
No, yeah.
until they just presented it to me now. So now I'm like, now I have to know what the fuck's gonna happen. Yeah, I think yeah, I'm very interested. Next piece of news: Kirsten Dunst to officially star in a Minecraft movie too.
Yeah, as Alex.
Yes,
Whatever, bro.
who is like the Steve, like the other main character, I
Like, yeah,
guess.
the other, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
the like
skin.
companion character. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like,
Um,
if you never played Minecraft before, Steve is just the name of the skin that you default as in Minecraft. Like, there's
yes,
not characters in Minecraft, really.
yes.
It's like Steve is just the default skin, and then Alex was later
It's
added
like the
as,
next most popular skin.
yeah, and
Yes.
it's basically like a girl skin, like supposed to be like a girl
Yeah.
skin. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's who Kirsten Dunst is playing. Uh, like what?
Oh,
And
whatever. Who gives a
I
fuck?
saw, I saw someone. I forgot fucking who the actor they were saying, but like I saw this piece of news tweeted, and then someone like people in the replies were being like, "Oh, it should have been like." Bryce Dallas Howard or whoever the fuck they were saying, like that it would have been way more accurate. And I'm like, guys, it's a Minecraft movie too, like
Mm,
anyway.
yeah.
I didn't think people would have opinions about something like that, but so next piece of news: Ella Purnell to star in The Return of Stanley Atwell alongside Nicholas Galatzine, described as a seductive thriller that is written and directed by Brian Welsh, but based on an original story from Steven Soderbergh. Which, when I saw this news, I was like, "Oh, this is not podcast news." And then I read the Steven Soderbergh thing, and I was like, "Maybe it's podcast news." And then I read a little bit more about it, and I'm like, "What do you mean based on an original story by Steven Soderbergh?" He is executive producer of this movie.
So
Um,
he didn't write the screenplay. It is based
no,
off of an idea that he had.
that he had, yes.
The movie's not going
Which,
to be
like,
good. It's
yes, that's
yes.
that was my takeaway, as well when I was reading it. But I was like, "Oh, that his name being attached means it's kind
Or
of
he, like,
news."
did, like, a draft of a screenplay that then
Sure,
somebody
yeah, and then
else
they was, like,
like,
rewritten,
rewrote.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Brian Welsh, is a writer-director who Steven Soderbergh has collaborated with before, I think probably in the same way. I think he just, like, produced a movie that he did and or, like, gave him an idea for a movie. There's this movie called Beats that he made, which I have not heard of or seen, but Steven Soderbergh was an executive producer on the movie, and now he's executive producer of this new movie. Brian Welsh also directed an episode of Black Mirror. A lot of Black Mirror talk on
Is
this.
Nicholas Galatzstein,
Yes.
is he going to be in Good Stuff ever?
What do you mean? You haven't
Oh,
seen Red,
sorry.
White, and Royal Blue, or The Idea of You?
He's so interesting.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I know you guys like think less of this movie, or you think less of this movie, not Owen, but like I still think he was so funny in Bottoms. I was like, man, this guy. I thought I would like what the rest of his career would look like more after watching him in that. But
Yeah, I don't really like I don't like Bottoms, but it's not his fault. You
sure,
know?
yeah.
Um,
Because I remember the first time I saw him actually was in the Cinderella movie with with Camila Cabello,
oh,
which I gave
this is what I'm
half
talking
a
about,
star
bro.
to.
Like, what like, is he gonna be in anything good? He's, like, in
Uh,
so much stuff. Like, he and his agent are, like, working, you know?
Yeah. I can't believe I can't believe I watched 3 of his slot movies. I watched Cinderella, Red, White, and Royal Blue, and The Idea of You.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like,
Um,
it seems like they're all slot movies, you
yes,
know?
they are. Yeah. Um, I didn't go see that new one though, 100 Nights of Hero, which,
Mhm.
that one's probably not good either,
Well, like, he's, like, an attractive guy. He seems like he might have, like, broad appeal, but, like, is
yes.
is that gonna get anywhere? I don't know.
I mean, it's getting somewhere, just not for me and you, but
Well, but,
it's
like, that's what I mean, like, get anywhere, like, is he gonna be in good movies? Like, is he gonna work with people that are, like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
sure, yeah. Um, no, I mean, we don't have anything, coming up that there's cause for except for Masters of the Universe, which we um
It's a pretty
I
bad
guess
trailer, to be honest.
yeah, like you were excited for it and then you saw
I
the
was just
trailer.
gonna for like by the idea of it when all we knew was like it was a Masters of the Universe movie. I was like, this could be
Right.
good, bro. You do it straight, like, and it's like, no, it's not. I was too overly optimistic. I should have
Yeah.
drafted goddamn Project Hail Mary. Nobody drafted that.
Yeah, that would have been really good for point scoring with the
Yeah.
exception of like our ratings, but
Yeah. Well, I picked
you would
fucking
have
Master of the Universe instead. I could have picked Project Hail Mary.
oh yeah, you would have cleaned up as far as like critic scores and
Yeah.
audience scores
That,
go.
that might be the best movie that went undrafted in terms of like our scoring system, probably.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's like some movie that does all the things Project Hail Mary did, but we also all like it.
Yeah, which is unlikely.
But I don't, yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if there's like another movie like that that's coming out other than the ones we drafted, like
Yeah.
Disclosure Day or
Yeah.
something, but we
Exactly.
drafted that, of course. Anyway, uh I know you're not going to give a fuck about this, but Jack O'Connell, Jason Clarke, and Katie O'Brien have joined the cast of A Quiet Place Part 3, along with Killian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Millicent Simmons, and Noah Jupe, all returning
Yeah,
for
it's like the
the movie.
goddamn 28 years later cast. It's like what the hell? Um
Yeah.
bro, the
Uh,
Quiet Place movies might be good. I haven't seen them. They might be good.
I I like them.
Did you
I like that.
like Day 1? Did you watch that one?
Yeah, I've
That
seen all of them. Yeah.
yeah, it seems like
None
it might
and
be
none of
good.
them like none of them are like mind-blowing like cinema, but I enjoy them all. I don't think you would like the second one very much. I feel like you'd probably I mean, I don't really think you'd like the first one either.
Yeah,
You
I
might
might not
actually
like
like
them.
you might like Day 1 the most just
Yeah.
because what's his name directed it? The
The pig guy.
yes, that feels so rude because he's like a real director, but he's got that other movie coming out this year with Hugh Jackman.
Oh, the Robin Hood
The
movie.
Death of Robin Hood. Yeah.
Yeah, and he got hand selected by Hideo Kojima to direct the Death Stranding movie, which means
Yeah.
something, but also like I don't know how much that means. So
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
It means it's not significant.
But yeah,
Yeah, this Quiet Place 3 thing. I'm like, yeah, listen, they can make as many of these movies as they want. If they keep putting
and they
Killian
will.
Murphy in
They
them,
will make as
yeah,
many
they
of them as
will.
they want.
If they keep putting Killian Murphy in them, I will be watching. I'm scared he's gonna die in this one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident he'll die in the third one because honestly, I thought he was gonna die in the second one. But last piece of news is just like a little fun thing I threw in here. We don't normally talk about TV news, but I put it in here only because it's a show that we've actually covered on the podcast.
Oh yes.
Madonna and Julia Gardner have been cast in the Studio season 2, and there's obviously a Madonna biopic with Julia Garner playing her, showing up sometime in theaters next. I guess like 2027 is when we'd expect that movie. But the Studio season 2, I guess one of the episodes is going to be about that movie.
What if it's like
If I had to,
unrelated? What if it's not?
it could be unrelated. Yeah, it could be.
Um,
Um,
but no, I love Madonna down. She's crazy. She's gonna look crazy in the show. Um,
yeah, yeah. Did you
but
did
no,
you know about this, or are you just learning about this now that I
no,
told
I
you?
did know about this.
Okay.
Because it's like people are saying like, oh, it's going to be a freaking like a biopic thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Do
I'd
we
like to see
know?
Julia
Oh,
Garner have some
whoa,
fun.
whoa, whoa, whoa!
What?
Did you know that this Julia Gardner Madonna movie is directed by Madonna?
What?
Because like there's like Julia Gardner's playing Madonna in a biopic, right? Did you know that movie is directed by Madonna?
No, I'm saying what because like that's not real, right?
No, it's real.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
Are you lying to me right now?
No,
Where are you reading this?
on Letterboxd. No, yeah, I'm serious.
Um. Okay. I guess Madonna has um directed stuff before,
Bro, she used to be yeah, she has,
but I
and
just didn't know
sh
that that
she
was the
used to
plan.
date Warren Beatty back in the day.
Yeah,
Uh,
she picked up some skills, I
no, like,
think.
literally, yeah. Yeah. Um,
Maybe I should watch this Wii movie
no,
with
yeah, I was just thinking
Abby
that.
Cornish and Andrea Riseborough and Oscar Isaac and James Darcy. What the hell? And David Harbour and Natalie Dormer. Oh my god. Oh, and Annabelle Wallace from Peaky Blinders. And for you more specifically from Malignant.
Yes.
Uh, wow. Our friend of the pod John gave this movie 5 stars, and friend of the pod Clara gave this movie 2 stars.
Yes, friend of
So
Fogler, give it 2 stars.
interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the studio episode looks like, and now I'm very curious about the Madonna biopic. So
Yeah.
that's news technically. When was that announced? I don't
I don't
remember that
know.
happening at all.
I
I feel
literally
like
have
we
no
would have
idea.
covered that on
Yeah.
the podcast. Interesting. That must have just been like a I must have just like brought up the biopic on the podcast without looking for who was directing it, and it slipped my mind. Wow, interesting. Okay, uh, wrap up there. Next week, episode 159. We don't know what we're talking about,
Tune in.
but you will know what we're talking about when it comes out next week. So
Facts.
something to keep in mind.
Facts.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.